What's up, everybody? This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching Ranger Wrap Up.
Fix it, man. Give me the piece. No. How do you mean no? I mean, I'm holding on to this plastic.
Whoa, hold on, let me fix this. Welcome to the Ranger Wrap Up, you guys. Look who we got here. We got Mark from across the pond, Heirloom. Mark, how you doing today, sir? Oh man, yesterday did it start yesterday or did it start the day before? I think yeah, it's just been a crazy time. I mean, we got the release. Well, I mean, we've been getting the German and the Canada and UK releases of the second season of Power Rangers. So everybody's been getting little tidbits, little episodes. I know you personally have been you've been translating and then watching along with the show, or how what's the process here? Hold on. They said they can't hear you. Why can't they hear you? I see the marker move. Let me see. Let me test. God, what do I have to do? I have to watch it. Frickin'. What is going on here? I can hear you. I can see it on OBS that they can hear you. Just keep talking and then maybe, let me see. Mark, where's your audio, bro? I see it here. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, let me see. We don't like Mark talking. Let me see. Alright, just give me a second, guys. We'll figure this out together. Together we are one. There's two of you. So let's see. Why is one of you not working? I am going to do this. I'm going to take. I see the audio moving too. That's so weird. Hold on. We'll do this. I'm gonna go to studio. And then move it there. Ooh, look at that. What's going on here? Okay. Where's Mark? Mark's right there. Can you guys hear him now? Hopefully you can hear him. Someone tell us in the chat. I can see your thing moving. Come on. Someone in the chat. Who's the first one? First one to give us confirmation. Go ahead, Mark. Keep talking. Let's see. Mark's here. Let's see. Come on. Nothing still. Hold on. Come on. Give us something good. Let me change Mark into Joe. That you guys don't know what that means. Still muted. Yes, that's what I'm doing. See, he knows. And I need to get rid of the filter. Haha, you guys get to see behind the scenes work of how this all works. I see the audio moving. So I don't know why they're not picking it up. So, this is what we're going to do. We did this last week. Wait, hold on. And then maybe that will fix things. I don't know. Well, they can hear you now, but you can also hear yourself. So you're going to have to do that one ear thing that you did last week.
Like that.
Yeah. Can you guys hear him now? Come on, give us a thing, because Mark, he has so much to talk about, and it would be a disservice to all of us in the chat, all of us within the community, not to be able to hear him. Honestly.
Yes.
So come on, who's the first person? First person, you get something special. First person to give us the confirmation that you got it. Come on now, who can hear his voice?
Could I be the confirmation?
Yeah. Clear as a bell, Jalen Glover says. There you go. See, we can't
Okay.
just have you. All right, cool. So, as I was saying, Mark has a process in which he was watching the new episodes and understanding the new episodes, because some of them were in German. So, Mark,
Yes.
talk about your process here.
It's basically Range Board put out all the descriptions, and they did the whole thing of like, here's English, German, and French, and it's just like, this is what happens in the episode, and thus therefore watch the episode and kind of figure it out, which is basically it's because it's in English and it's not like animated or anything like that. Sorry, it's real action. You can tell by like what they mean, so it's just kind of going like, oh, so Ollie is doing this, Ollie is doing that, Amelia jumps in, and you're like, okay, cool. So I kind of get it, and it's just going, oh, this is what I think of the episode. And then if there are any big key important parts, it's like, oh, I'll just wait for the English. So there'll be more reviews when it drops quite soon. So it's easy enough just to kind of go over and go, oh, I was wrong in this point, and this is what happened, and kind of just review it all again and be like, this is the episodes. And then they all drop in the UK this week, or if not, it's all gonna be on Netflix in on like what, a couple of days time, 6 days, 5 days.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty in-depth process. Honestly, I don't know if I could have done that. I know I went through the Canada ones. Was it Canada? I think so. And then once they started doing the German ones, I was like, I'll just wait. And then something happened. I was able to watch them on, and it is glorious. So before we go on later, during the show, this has to be said. Honestly, this has to be said. I had placed it mainly on a lot of things. We're not gonna go in depth into like the spoilers and everything that goes into it, because first off, that's kind of like redundant, and we want you to enjoy each little aspect of the show, each little detail of the show. But we are going to be talking about some things that had happened. And then, I mean, if you are a Power Ranger fan and you are on Twitter, obviously you've seen stuff. You've seen some things. And, that's just what happens. It's just what happens. But first off, before we get rolling, you know what? Every single week, everybody within this panel always throws us with something amazing, something that, as their area of expertise. And we have the most famous Josh Perry with another lightning storm. Woo! So Josh, what's going on this week?
Hello, Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans. This is Josh Perry from the Illuminerdi, and here's everything that happened this past week for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So first up for this week, we had the release of the Yellow Ranger Morpher in the UK from retailer Comics and Cocktails. So this was an item that was revealed during the fan stream event during Power Week last month, and we knew it was going to be coming out pretty quickly because it had a US release date of October 1st, which is next weekend. So we knew that it was going to be pretty quick, but the UK, of course, like they have for a lot of the more recent roleplay items, got it in first, and there's already some video reviews out there right now from people like Lightning Collector 2021 on YouTube. So if you want to take a look at it before it comes out here in the US at GameStop and Hasbro Pulse, you have that opportunity. Now, while the UK got these first a couple of months ago, the Ninja Rangers of Ninja Red, Yellow, and Catherine Pink are finally being spotted in Target stores, and they have updated their online pre-order release date to Sunday, October 2nd. So they should be shipping out sometime by the end of next week, probably like early the week afterward or so, or you can just try your luck of finding them in Target stores because they are being spotted there more and more every day. So at least you can finally complete your Ninja Ranger team, which has taken a good amount of time. It's been like 4 or 5 months since like the first batch came out in the US, so not super crazy of a delay between the first batch and the second batch, and these ones definitely have better QC than the first wave did, so hopefully if you're looking for those, you can find them soon. This past week it was announced that Hasbro Pulse EU, which was previously only in Germany, is being expanded to a couple of other European countries, such as France, Spain, Italy, and Austria. So this opens the door for more people in Europe to get their hands on Hasbro Pulse exclusives, or pretty much a lot of stuff from any Hasbro brand. Hopefully, going forward, they'll have previous Pulse exclusives for them, that missed out before when there wasn't a Pulse there, as Pulse just continues to expand in more regions. Hopefully they add it to like Australia, Asia, Africa, a bunch of other places that would definitely need or want Hasbro Pulse and have access to those exclusive figures. But every couple of months when they add more countries, it's always a nice sign, and it's really good timing for Hasbro PulseCon right around the corner, so that you have more customers to sell products to. And speaking of Hasbro PulseCon, it was finally announced this past week that the Power Rangers panel at Hasbro PulseCon, which we already knew was going to be happening on day 1, September 30th, this upcoming Friday, it was officially announced that the panel will be taking place at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time until 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So 45 minutes of more phenomenal news from Power Rangers for toy reveals. They're going to have the Dino Fury cast there. They're going to be talking about the comics. So it's definitely going to be an event you don't want to miss for Power Rangers news for 2023 items and 2023 news if you're interested in any of that for the upcoming 30th anniversary that's right around the corner. So lots of exciting stuff is going to happen this upcoming week with Hasbro PulseCon. But that was everything we have to talk about for this week on this little mini Lightning Storm. And of course, as always, you can check out the full episode of Lightning Storm available on the Toku Topics YouTube channel right now. You can also check out my articles over at the Illuminerdi and follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningFigPR. This has been a little quickie Lightning Storm.
Well, that was amazing. There's one thing that he didn't get to add in that, only because I think I don't even think he knew that it was coming out at this moment. So if you are, who was it? I think it was you first. Was it you that in the group that found it first? Someone.
No, I think it was shared on Twitter, and then it was put in the group. I literally woke up this morning. I literally turned my phone on. I was like, oh, there's the Astro Mega Ship. That's really
the
cool.
Astro motherfucking Mega Ship. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I'm cussing about it, but look at that. It's beautiful. It's freaking. It might be the same mold as the original one. It might be a little bit bigger. I don't know the dimensions of it, but obviously, you can see the little silver metal pieces. That's die cast. That's not plastic. That's die cast.
Really?
So
It just looks like chrome.
yeah. But the with the chrome, like the little brush on the side, like if you see on the left side, I could be totally wrong, but I think at least that front part is die cast. But I don't know about the rest of the pieces. It would have been nice if it was all die cast. That would be amazing. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh my god! But this thing is beautiful. And then there's so many little, look at this. If you can open up the hatch, kind of like those old Millennium Falcon toys, and you can see a little. This one, I think you can't take these out. These little Power Rangers, I think that's just there.
Yeah. See, I like little things like that. I think that looks really, really nice, and it makes it like, look at that. It looks so nice, but I'm just not going to buy it after MMPR Megazord.
I know. If you guys haven't watched his MMPR Zap Megazord thing, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. But oh my god.
I think it's gonna. I think it's nice that they've just, because I thought they were gonna go in order. Like the next one was gonna be like the Zeo Megazord, and the next one was gonna be this or that. But them jumping straight into space, and I quite like the fact that I want it to be different versions. So like say like when the next one, because it'll be the Delta one. I think Josh mentions that later on in his video, like, or something like that. But like I would like it next if it's like, oh, here's the Mystic Force one or something like that. And I'd be like, oh, so they're just jumping from Zord to Zord.
Yeah,
but it looks really, really nice. I think it looks absolutely fantastic for what it is. But like after my experience with the MMPR, I don't even want this, because I don't want it to feel like it's cheaply made. I don't want it to have scratches and it breaks or something like that, or the box is badly damaged. I think that if I was going to do it, I probably would buy from Hasbro. So if there's a problem, I can easily just send it back rather than have to wait for like 2 weeks and stuff like that and go, yeah, I don't want this.
Yeah, that could be an issue for sure.
Yeah, but it does look really nice. I just don't want to be burned again. So I think that I'm going to watch other people's reviews because I have a review process. I want to find this out for myself. So I'm like, oh man, I'll just review it. But I think I'll watch other people's reviews and then go, okay, yeah, it's worth the money, and I'll buy it and I'll display it. But yeah,
Definitely. I mean, well, how much do you think something like this would cost?
I think it's going to be 160 quid. So 160 pounds.
Oh man.
Or whatever price you guys get it at, we'll get it at the same price. Because for some strange reason, everyone just like every company goes, oh, so we're selling it for $160, $200. Yeah, it's £200. So it's cheaper for us to buy it from America and get it imported than it is to buy from us. So I think it's a thing.
Yeah, I hope it's around that because that's a decent price. That's a decent price. I mean, I think the word is that was supposed to be announced at Hasbro PulseCon.
Yeah.
And if that's taken off the table, or at least if they announce it and it's already been revealed, I can understand. You know, they're competing against their other brands, right? Like, you know, G.I. Joe and Transformers and all that. And Marvel at the most. So like you want to come in with all the firepower that you got. And something happened.
Well, I think because if it was probably sent from a PR company, but I'm quite surprised there wasn't like any kind of rules because we've seen all of this straight away. Like Hasbro, from what I remember, ages ago was just like, okay, we've got this. Was it like they sent it to a shop, the shop uploaded it or something, and then they got it taken down straight away.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why aren't you doing the same sort of thing with this? But now it just feels like when PulseCon comes around, it's going to be 30 minutes of talking of like with the Dino Fury cast, and then it's going to be like, what are you going to do for 15 minutes? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting how they go about it. But first, before we continue on talking about PulseCon, Dan always has his fan theories this week. So, Dan, what's your fan theory for Dino Fury?
I can't do this on my own, 'cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morph, I made a fake one.
The Dino Fury Rangers are going into space. Now that means we're gonna see some new characters, some new villains. But who is going to be returning from the cast of side characters? Now we know we're going into space and we can't keep everybody. I think a guy like Warden Garcia and Jane, those characters are going to probably stay because Warden has to protect the city, the parks, and Jane has a whole business and Buzz Blast to run, right? Now, there's one person that I believe that would be a perfect fit out of all of the civilian side characters in Power Rangers, and I think that Dr. Akana would be a great ally to the Power Rangers. We are going to talk about why and why not we believe that she could be the next ally. So first of all, one of the most obvious things is she knows who the Power Rangers are. She knows their secret identity, and her son is the Blue Ranger. So she's already connected and knows their identity and has helped the Rangers time and time again. How much does she know about space? I don't know, but we know that she is a researcher and she could put the time in, and she has some technology. I think that her and Solon would work great together. She's already worked with Solon before, so there is some minor experience there. And then the big one is her son is going into space, guys, and she might not want to be away from him, or might be scared, or just wants to help. Well, if you're going, I'm going with you. You Rangers are going to need some help. Now, what are the chances that she stays on Earth? Now, the few reasons that I could think of is she has a lot of projects, she has a lot of things going on, and maybe she's working on something that she can't leave Earth. The other thing is, if the Rangers leave Earth, who is going to be keeping an eye on it? That's the other big question I had, and I do believe that somebody might stay behind. Someone's got to protect the city, right? Or is the city completely stable, no sporks, no monsters at all? Are they just all going into space and leaving the city untouched by anybody? I don't know what they're going to do, but I do think that how they are writing in Dr. Akana these last few episodes makes you believe that they're building off of this character. So these last few episodes, we saw Fern go on a bus and leaves for college 6 hours away. That makes it seem like she's not sticking around. Well, Dr. Akana, it seems like she keeps popping up in episodes and is having like one-on-ones. Like in one episode, she's having a heart-to-heart with Javi. The next episode, she's hanging and acting a fool with Ion. This is really good, guys. I love it, and there is a higher chance of her coming into space than any other side character because she has the experience. She could actually help. It makes sense. She is related to the Blue Ranger, his mother, and then when it's all said and done, it really just makes a lot of sense that Dr. Akana could help. She's familiar with the Rangers. There's a lot of things that she brings to the table that the other side characters don't. And the way that we've seen her in these last few episodes, she's really been connecting with the Rangers. It would make sense, and it wouldn't be something forced at this point because we have seen Dr. Akana for like 7-8 episodes at this point, and she was in the first episode. She's in a lot, and there are breaks that we take from her for, maybe 4 or 5 episodes you won't see her, but then she comes back and it almost feels not forced then. Like she was actually doing her thing. She had shit to do, guys, and I love it. I love how they're making these characters too. Shout out Power Rangers and the writers and creators, because all of these side characters, including the Rangers' parents, are really well put together. Even characters like the Warden have been developed. I absolutely love this season. And what do you guys think? Do you think we could see Dr. Akana in the next season? Do you think she could be an ally for the Power Rangers? Let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Back, and look, we got more people here. It's a little bit more people to talk about. Let me put this up. Just because I know there's a ton of people in the Rangerverse that just
over my face. Spoiler.
Yeah, over. Is that kind of symbolic? No, it's not. Right here, we're gonna put it right here in the middle, but everybody right at the top. Spoiler alert: the whole show. So anything that goes on, we are not responsible for it. If you guys want to watch and listen, that is at your own discretion. But before we get into the Dino Fury stuff, what did you guys think of the Astro Megazord?
It looks great.
You gonna buy it?
Yeah, it's not too expensive.
That's what I was gonna say. It depends on the price, how it looks for me.
Oh, you guys don't have like an emotional attachment to Power Rangers in space?
No, I do.
Yeah.
I don't care for Zord.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a cool Zord because it's just one thing. I always wanted it as a kid, but I never got it.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, me and Mark were talking about how that was gonna be like the bow at the end of the presentation. Like, oh, here's we hit you with some lightning collection stuff, and here's the new Megazord. But now that it's out, it's just like, okay, we're gonna have to figure out something else. They got 5 days. Maybe they can show us some new Cosmic Fury suits. Maybe. They gotta come with something hard. What are you guys' predictions as far as like what's gonna come out for PulseCon?
Honestly, I think I don't think they're going to really talk about Cosmic Fairy. I think they're going to spend the interview talking about the actual show that supposed to air at the time. I think Dino Fury season 2 would be the main focus. We might get like a suit tease or reveal at the end of it. I don't think there's going to be anything Cosmic Fairy related.
Oh man.
Yeah, it'll be like, what was it like working on the show? What was your favorite moment?
Yeah.
Did you do this? Would you do it again? Are you excited for Cosmic Fury? And they'll go like, yeah. I know it'll just be generic questions, I think, about the show. And then it would have led into, here's the product reveal. And I think that if it was 15 minutes or 20 minutes of whatever, I feel like the Astro Megaship would have taken that entire slot and everyone would have gone like, oh my God, that's amazing. And now we all know.
Yeah, so pretty much the Dino Fury panel from Paramorphicon, but for everybody to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've also got Ryan there as well, so they're going to talk about the comics. Ryan and Melissa, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, they got Ryan and Melissa, and then Andre is hosting the
Dino Fury stuff.
Right there, the panel. And it's going to be...
Do we know how long it's supposed to be for Power Rangers?
It's like 45 minutes, I think, the entire panel.
Oof.
With the whole presentation from start to finish. So
comics, toys, interviews, all that has to be 40. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't give them an hour. Like, it makes more sense to go, here's an entire hour for each one. So,
I have no idea either. The blur says probably more MMPR Lightning Collection toys. Yeah, I'm assuming within the next few months we're gonna get MMPR Lightning Collection, the movie figures. You know, I think that's the last logical, thing that they can release to milk the Power Ranger Lightning Collection stuff.
I would want them to release it next year. That like talk about it next year, because the 30th you need something big. I think if you revealed it now, I think you'd just be like, oh, okay, cool. There's nothing special, because Hasbro like releasing them early, so it'd be like, oh, you get them for the 30th. No, you just get them for the 29th.
Yes, that's true.
I don't think there's not much to reveal for Cosmic Fury, because Simon's working on it now.
Mm-hmm. And he keeps getting sidetracked because Twitter just keeps bothering the fucking man. Leave the dude alone. Like, the whole civilian fight conversation that he kept engaging in is like...
Okay, I feel bad because I kind of started that.
Well, how did that even come to be? Like, you're just like, oh, I wish we had more civilian fight.
Yeah, I was asking like a simple question, but then like the whole fandom got on it, and I was like, oh.
I don't think you realize yet your reach, Jin. I think you're still like working under the assumption that you're under the grid, or people aren't really paying attention to any little tweets that you're gonna. But literally, I think people have their little notifications turned on every time you do post something, whether or not it's a troll or not. Like, people are always watching, so like, it's just something you're gonna have to get used to, bro.
Sometimes I just want to tweet about my day, though.
That's out the window now. That's gone. You have to realize that you need to create another account people don't know that it's yours, and just that whole thing. You're living in a glass house now. Everybody is watching every step, everything. Like, whatever you like on Twitter, and it says, oh, Jinsaku likes this. Theories are gonna start building around. It's like, oh, why is he liking this? Why did he start following this?
For breakfast, or like trying to clue it to that Cosmic Fury.
That's just something you got to get used to.
My eggs and bacon look like the stars. What do you think? # Cosmic Fury.
Honestly.
But
let me start posting my breakfast more often.
Just do it. I think that'd be hilarious, and then only the people that watch the show or people in the panel understand why you're doing it. But I mean, earlier this week, you came in with some big news for the Entwistle stuff. Like, when did you first hear about this information?
So, honestly, the latest scoop I had wasn't really the big scoop. I kind of just like put everything together that I knew at the moment from what I leaked from a year ago. But pretty much the new stuff I added was like the little tidbits with the Sentai, reference we might be getting. Well, let me say Japan reference we might be getting as a homage to Sentai. But that's like the new stuff. But then I decided, let me clarify and add some things in there, because I know from when I started putting stuff together, and then from now, a lot of things changed. So I thought, let me not add what I said before and add what I think is still happening and throw that all together. But the biggest thing for me was I didn't expect like most of the people to catch on to it was the non-Power Ranger fans. Like when my tweet blew up and like a lot of people started quoting it, sharing it around, it was mostly non-Power Ranger fans, which is
Really?
kind of like interesting. Like it was a lot of people who was big fans of the 2017 movie that like got attached to my tweet, and then they were all like, "Oh my god, they're keeping the same tone as the 2017 movie. Oh my god!" And then I was like looking through the people, and they were all just like regular people, and I was just like, "Okay, that's pretty cool."
How
That
could you tell
alone,
they're
like,
regular people? They didn't have like they didn't have the anime like profile pictures. How
yeah,
could...
no, these are just like actual like people who's like into other stuff. Like I went to some of their profiles, and they don't even tweet about Power Rangers. Probably don't even know Dino Fury exists.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just people who's fans of other stuff, you know, and like Marvel, DC, anime, whatever. And they're just like, okay, so they're doing a Power Ranger reboot. And like that's their first time hearing of Power Rangers since the 2017 movie. You know?
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of cool for me. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of a sign that we might, I don't know, Hasbro might be doing something with the reboot. That might be a good direction to go if you're going to get outsiders to come into it that way.
It would be cool. Like a lot of people are like wondering like, hey, how come they're not talking about the what do you call it? What happened here? How come they're not talking about the reunion episode or whatever? What have you have anything much of that?
Actually was the ones I was like, oh god, another Jinsaku league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the traction came from the outside.
Jin,
So,
I heard you have a T-shirt that you got at PMC. Where's that T-shirt, man?
1 second.
Hold on, you guys. I don't even have a T-shirt. Mark doesn't even have a T-shirt. Ash don't even have a T-shirt.
What sort of T-shirts are we talking
Hey,
about?
he's gonna show us right now.
So, I knew you were gonna ask. So I had this bad boy on standby. Okay.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's awesome.
You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember the?
It's I didn't put it on. It's like a 3XL shirt.
Oh yeah, we'll get more. We'll get more once everybody comes
that
together.
Was all they had available.
Yeah.
But, you know,
You know, so the reason why we had so many extra like 3XL shirts for the things is like when we went the first time we had Power Morphicon like 2018, we only got like maybe smalls all the way up to like extra large. We had no idea there was a bunch of like 3XL, 2XL Ranger fans. I mean, looking back at it now, it's like obviously, but you know, it was a mistake. But I was just telling Mark and Ash that we don't even have that design. That's the old school design that we used to use. But yeah, it reminds me of the old days of like DX when everybody was like becoming DX or NWO. You know, I was like, well, yeah, that's a dope ass shirt though, dope ass shirt. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people when the news came out, they're just like, that's it. It's like, what are you complaining about? You literally aren't getting anything from anyone else. Like nothing. There's no news from any. Like, I don't know. I guess that's just the fandom.
I really noticed too. I think the majority of the fans don't really care for the reboot. I think a lot of them kind of want the whole Sentai thing to keep going.
Yes.
They kind of want the main format that we have now. For whatever reason, they want that to continue going on for eternity. And yeah, and I noticed like ever since like even like the finale of Dino Fury, like once they seen Zeto's new suit, they were like, wait, they really might be going original next year. I think that's what scared them. They really scared them. They're like, wait. I don't.
That's why.
I like this. So
that's why yesterday.
Yeah, we're at this weird place where I think once the reboot happened, we might see a lot of fans. Is it the franchise? But a lot of new fans come in.
If only they were told about this a long time ago.
There's still
you know, Illuminerdi, they're frauds. You know, they don't ever tell you.
Oh my god! You know, I had so many.
Why listen to them?
I had so many bookmark tweets, but I think since we released that news 2 years ago and up to now, they had deleted their tweets, so I can't find them anymore. So they got the jump before I got the jump. And
screenshots.
Friday, I was smiling. Like it's not the 100% confirmation yet, but it's like, I mean, the effort of making another suit. I mean, it's something. Like it's like some kind of confirmation. What did you guys think of the new suit? This is spoiler territory, so if anybody gets all mad,
like
spoilers.
Let me see if I can bring it up.
I like it. I think it's pretty cool. One thing I really appreciate though that they went out their way to like make a new suit.
Yeah.
A lot of things that fans don't realize is they didn't have to do that.
Nope.
We could have easily just got whatever we had and it could just ended the show after. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that they went out their way to give us a White Ranger suit, I thought was pretty dope. And I like the red lightning bolt in the middle.
Yeah.
It was also made by Toei as well, because I remember seeing Simon, like someone asked about what the suits were and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, it was designed by someone, and then Toei made it." So the fact is that it's an actual proper suit, not just like someone's made one in New Zealand. I was like, that's actually pretty cool that Toei are on board and you're like, yeah, we've just got one. Maybe it'd be a concept design of like, this is what Rear Soldier was going to have, but yeah, you guys can have it.
Yeah, I think
That's pretty cool.
I think the helmet, like, I think the only reason they didn't do the helmet, because that would have taken a lot of time to make. Maybe before Cosmic Fury, there'll be a little bit of difference in the helmet. But I mean, I generally like it. I'm not a big fan of the cape, though, and the cape and the shoulder pads.
Yeah. The shoulder pads could use more like armor.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if it was like a hybrid of the Dino Fury suits and the Morphin Master suits. That would be amazing. Like if it was like armor, like I still love the Dino Knight armor, honestly. Like it's like if everybody had that armor, I think that looks cool as shit. Like I don't know if there's Ryu Soldier.
Isn't it like a little red like jewel like in the middle of like where the cape's supposed to like last on?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if he kept like the thing his mom gave him and like made it that?
Oh yeah. I didn't even remember that little jewel thing. But I mean, even just the last episode, like they were saying like how the whole fight or most of the big finale fight was all original. That gives me so much hope for everything else because it looked clean. Like a lot of the stuff looked clean. It's like watching an episode of like Attack on Titan, you know, like them running amongst the body and like slashing shit.
I get that reference now.
That was like the coolest fight I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Like, who would have just came up with, you know what, let's all fight in the air on top of a giant monster. Who needs Zord? We'll just fight on top. Like, that was pretty dope.
Yep, that was. There's even an episode like the one in Japan where like Ion was jumping to attack the cake monster guy, and they did this like really weird slow-mo spin thing that I don't think I've ever seen them do in Power Rangers. Maybe in Super Sentai, but not in Power Rangers. So
I think didn't they add it in the show, or am I tripping?
I don't know. I need to watch it.
I think the episode where they go to Japan, they fight that cake monster. So I think they threw it in there.
Yeah, but
which would be pretty cool. I gotta go back and watch
Izzy fight from episode 17? Is that an original fight, the playground one, or?
No, that's Rear Soldier.
Okay.
So the easier way to tell is always look at the ground. So
yeah.
If because it confused me. I was like, is that actually from? Did they actually get a drone? But then it's the footage changes, so I was like, no, that's definitely Rear Soldier. And I was just like, damn.
I just see if the suits are shiny or not.
Yeah,
that's true.
Ion suit
always
always
seems to be more dull when it comes to the suits.
Yeah, if you look at Ion's, like the Sentai, it's like really shiny, and then it's just Ion's like, oh, it's dull gold. And I'm like,
yeah.
That's how
Power Rangers.
What's on the ground? You said look at the ground.
So there's like certain things that if you look at the ground, like it changes. So if they're shooting in New Zealand, like it'll be like say a certain texture of grass or underneath the let's say pavement. But then when it switches to Japan, you can tell. Like it's just where the area that they film, so it could be completely different. So say the park episode, there's chips on the floor, like the wooden chip things. But then in New Zealand, it's just concrete. You just like, oh, okay, that's Sentai footage.
Okay.
So
interesting. I never really looked at stuff. Now I'm gonna be watching the episodes again and looking at the ground. But yeah, I mean, I think the overall tone of the last part of season 2 was miles and miles better than the last part and the last season. Like the tone is better, the characters you felt a little bit more for. The effort in casting like someone that looked like Pop to like for some of those scenes, that was pretty good. But I had posted earlier this week a clip of it was the butler from Spider-Man 3 telling Harry Osborn that his dad got killed by his own glider. And I was just thinking, damn it, Pop, you could have like just told Amelia the whole time that, you know, there's something going on with her. Then they could have like avoided Void King and Void Queen ascending into who they are, you know, like, and then probably saved a few more people, maybe even saved Pop Pop from getting slashed in the chest that one episode, you know, like.
that episode where he hits the tree. I've never seen someone. I've gone, oh fucking hell! It hurt. It looked like it really hurt. Like I was like, is that a doll? Is that like a rag doll thing, or is that a stunt man in it? I was like, it's a stunt man, and it's the way he hits that tree. Oh,
I have to say this.
Do we ever see him recover? Like I think he just like
he just walked away.
I think he like stayed in the hospital bed, then he went to like 1 month later or something.
He just walked away. He just, you know.
We don't even know if he made it or not.
The one thing I did hate about the last part of the season was how terrible the RAFCON suits looked. That was garbage. That was like something you see at like a low budget, like, you know, just action film, you know.
Those Ace Squad Rangers and Power Rangers.
Oh
SPD.
yeah, you know, I was watching Expendables 3, and one of the characters had like these cheap like motorcycle pads to make it look like he was like fully armored up. I was like, God, come on, Stallone, you can't like fucking, you know, pay a little bit more money for the freaking attire of your cast members. But that's what it looked like. I was trying to distinguish what the RAFCON suits were made of. It looks like motorcycle helmets and I don't know, like it looked bad. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. Everything else was
it's probably
solid.
motorcycle gear.
Yeah, everything was like solid. But maybe next year when they, you know, interact with the RAFCON again, maybe they'll have more intricate suits or something. But out of the whole season,
they should have stuck to the Knights Zato had. Like, if you were gonna like downgrade like that, you should have just stayed being Knights all these years.
So, but like the Knights, they're like, so like the RAFCONs we met, they're like the commoners, and then like Zato and Ion are kind of like royalty or some shit.
No, I think it's the more that they're just knights back in the day, and then I always think these are like the elite guard type thing, so they upgrade the outfits. But yeah, I think I would have stuck with the knight. I didn't even think about the knight outfits. Yeah, I would have stuck with them. Makes perfect sense.
There's so much. There's so much that they gone into. I mean, even I don't need that last thing that the lady from Buzz Blast was talking about. Oh, we're opening up a Buzz Blast Angel Grove. It's like, okay, is that like a hint to that we're gonna be visiting Angel Grove again or something? Like, I like just from the last episode, it really looks like they had every intention of coming back, like every intention of coming back for Cosmic Fury or Dino Fury Season 3. Like they just, there's no way that we're gonna end it and just leave it like that, leave it a cliffhanger and not really know what's going on next. They knew what they were doing, unless like a lot of those things were shot. Huh?
I said Mucus survived.
Mucus and Scyther and Zed's out. Everything is set up perfectly. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's another big bad, but I mean, Zed's a decent, leader of the bad guys.
I think
Scrozzle's out there too.
Scrozzle.
It's that they all come together just to team up, and I think it'd be really cool. But like with the Lord Zed, like if he's not the main bad, like I know everyone's just like, oh, I don't want him to be. I'm like, why would you remake the suit? Why wouldn't you just like make a really bad version of it? So I think that he's going to be the main bad guy. But I would have loved if they'd gotten the suit for Thingamabob from Lupin Ranger vs. Power Ranger, the mob boss, and had a mob boss type thing. I would have absolutely loved that.
Lupin Ranger was a pretty good season.
I've never seen it.
It's fantastic. It's pretty on it.
I mean, there's still a bunch of stuff that they haven't used from Mu Soldier. I know there's a few episodes they haven't used yet. But I think it's totally gonna be all original stuff. Like from the looks of it, like they could do without Zord fights because they can just be fighting the big Zords, like they did in that last episode. That'd be fucking funny as shit.
Well, they don't have them anymore because spoilers. This is the main thing. Like he uses them in an attack and they've gone. So they could be like, well, we don't have any more Zords anymore. So just get rid of that. I would like to see how they would handle that for at least a while.
What if
you gotta talk about the dinosaur abuse that's been going on in Dino Fury? Like the first episode, you sacrifice the dinosaurs to make Zords, and then you take the Zords and sacrifice them. We gotta talk about the dinosaur abuse, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, there is one dinosaur that survived pretty long. It was Titanus, right? Like he was in third season where he was like part of the Ninjazord Megazord. I was like, what the fuck is that? What the kind of combo is going on here? The Blur says, do you think Cosmic Fury will be dimension hopping?
No, I think it's just
Yeah.
going to be purely space hopping to planet, something like that.
New Zealand and New Zealand to New Zealand.
New Zealand to
Yeah.
New Zealand, yeah.
Don't forget New Zealand.
That one episode where they revisit Rafcon before it gets destroyed is like, I wanted to like edit a clip and just play like Lord of the Rings music, like CGI some of the hobbits running across.
Could you imagine if they went to the place where they filmed Lord of the Rings and it was just the Hobbit City or something, and it's just like Ferbus, the planet of Ferbus from Mass Rider?
Oh man, if we don't get Ferbus next season, I'm gonna be pissed. There has to they gotta. You know,
I would love it if they went to like they came back to Earth and went to like no they went to Ireland and they had like the descendants of the mystic knights of Tir Nog. I would absolutely love that and be like that would tie it in. I think that would make things perfect for next season if they did that.
is that on any streaming service, Mystic Knights?
No.
No, it's gone. It's dead. They all stood in a field looking at the sky and like, let's fight. And I was just like,
What if there was a reason why they skipped a few Zords for the Zap Megazord? Like, what if they introduced this Zord because this is what they're gonna use? I mean, Lost Galaxy took the damn ship. Why can't they take the damn ship?
I think
that will work, honestly. It would.
Go back to that museum spot.
I would love it if they found the ship and it was covered with moss or something, and then they just teleported in and like all of it's completely changed because we've redone it. But can you imagine if it was just like in the ground and it's just moss all over it, and then they tried to get it working, and then Andros just pops up and goes, "No, stop it! Stop taking my stuff. The other people did it. I don't like this."
Andros, man. Imagine if Christopher came in. Did you guys get to meet him at PMC?
I think so. Maybe.
You couldn't recognize him, huh? He looks different.
No, never mind. I was thinking if I did the turbo and in space panel, but I think it was just the turbo panel.
Yeah.
And he was the only one missing out the group.
Yeah. The turbo panel. But yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. I doubt they would do it, but if there is a reason why they releasing the Astro Mega ship, that could be a good reason. Honestly, like
Astro Dino ship.
Astro Dino ship. Yep, exactly. There's so many possibilities. I mean, we're gonna only have to find out. Yeah, I agree with Jin. I don't think they're gonna release any of the information at PulseCon, but I think like after something's gonna show up once they get a few footage. I would love the suits though. It would like if they showed the suits and they're totally original suits, you will not be able to pull me away from Twitter. You will not. I will just go hard on every fucking motherfucker out there. I don't care. You guys could be professional. I don't give a fuck.
think the suits we've seen in the finale won't be Cosmic Fury. Like I just got a feeling that they're all not going to just show up in white suits. Like I don't see it.
It'd look weird. It'd totally look weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. A team of White Rangers is kind of like.
Oh yeah, that's a little questionable. Team of White Rangers with white capes. Not a good look.
We're all just like white with like different color lightning bolts.
Not a good look.
They look like the Morphin Masters at that point.
Oh yeah. See, I would love to see more Morphin Masters, honestly.
My theory on the suits is if they do go down Kira Major, I reckon it'll be like they're on the ship and then Sato will go, right, sorry guys, like your powers aren't good enough, and then literally uses his Mighty Morphin Master's power and gives them all brand new suits and go, this is it. And then just give us an explanation of why Javi's turned into the Yellow Ranger, and just be like, there you go. And then I give myself a new suit, and then it jumps in. That's the way I can see them getting around it, depending on which ship that they go on.
I think
I want like new cosmic suits. Like I want like stars everywhere and like black space all over the suits. Like the Solar Rangers. I need something like that.
Yeah. Like the the background that they got, there's like the black and the neon purple kind of thing. I mean, only time will tell. But I don't know, man. That last episode really set up a lot of different things, and like the acceptance of the acceptance of Rafconians on Earth now. Like, you're like, oh, he's got his little antenna sticking out. They're not hiding it anymore. I thought that was pretty cool. There's so much. There's just so much.
Also, Rafcons being on Earth is a nod to SPD because aliens are living on Earth now.
Yes.
I was
That's the start of it.
It's the start.
2025, 3 years later, more aliens coming.
I know we're gonna meet Doggy Kruger. I know it. Doggy Kruger's on the horizon. A young, ambitious Doggy Kruger, you know, in his little
Young
SPD.
puppy.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, can you imagine if he was like Scrappy Doo?
Oh my God, like Scrappy Doo from the James Gunn movie.
It's running around. Oh, I'd love it. I think that would make the series for me as well.
It's just
I mean, we're 3 years away. He's probably actually grown at this point.
Yeah.
I want don't take my wish away, Jin. I want to see Scrappy Doo.
As we speak right now, he's on a planet losing his wife. As we speak.
There's just so much going on. I mean, the one thing that I didn't get about the news thing that came out earlier this week is the budget thing. Do you think that's true, Jen? Like the reason why they're not really fully going full on with End Whistles because they want to finish Cosmic Fury?
Yeah, I think the budget's a big part in that, only because I'm not saying that Cosmic Fury is going to get this giant budget, but just the fact of putting up money for a Cosmic Fury and a reboot just like logically don't make sense to have at the same time. You really don't want to do that because, and one, it'll confuse the audience, right? Like, I think it's bad enough that we have Ninja Steel, Cosmic Fury, Dino Fury, Beast Morphers all on Netflix while you're trying to push a reboot on Netflix. I just don't think both can live on the same streaming service. I feel like once the reboot come out, you kind of got to take the old seasons off so like the new audience don't get confused with them. But another thing is when you're filming a show like Cosmic Fury, right? You're in New Zealand. And then let's say you decide to film the reboot in Canada or LA or whatever. You're having two different production teams, you know, film two different projects. You're putting up a lot of money. That's just a Disney thing. You know what I'm saying? I personally don't think E1 is there yet.
Yeah. I
just don't. And for a brand like Power Rangers, it's like, that's risky, you know? It's a new brand for them. They don't know if it's going to flop or not, so they're not investing too much. If it was Transformers, maybe, but not even Transformers is doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Transformers, they had 2 flops before they released Bumblebee, and because the 2 flops happened, Bumblebee suffered, and they just like, oh, well, let's take a step back and let's wait a little bit, change it up, and see what we can do.
5-6 year hiatus before the new movie.
Yeah. So are you saying after, like, as soon as Cosmic Fury is airing, that's when they start? Or are you saying they're waiting till it ends?
So in terms of, here's what they'll probably most likely do. We're still going to get small updates on who's working on the show. They're still hiring people for it. That's just what it is. But in terms of actual filming, you know what I mean? Or actual, like, investing money for promotion or hiring people, I just don't think we're going to see that until after Cosmic Fury. They can honestly even wait for Cosmic Fury to finish filming. You know, they don't even have to wait for it to air. But I think in terms of, I think once the Cosmic Fury wraps filming, we might get like casting, but we're definitely not going to see any filming or anything until after that's already wrapped up.
Red Ranger 241 says, so what exactly is Jonathan Entwistle movie/series? Is it a separate universe or connected to the main universe? I think that this was well established, like maybe a year and a half ago. It's a reboot. Like, I don't know how many people need to hear reboot.
It's not Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
It's not Mighty Morphin.
It's a reboot. Let me dig it into your heads a little bit. After Cosmic Fury, we are going into a renaissance of Power Rangers, and I think it's needed. Like, a lot of people, like you guys said, a lot of people are super angry about the Sentai stuff, but outside of the community, it's not working. It's not profitable, like, at all. Like, it's cheap to make, sure, but why would you keep making something that's not breaking barriers or breaking records? Like, under a new company like Hasbro, you're not gonna have them have them do the same formula and dump money into something that's not producing, a better outcome. Like, it's not making them any money. Obviously, the
Nobody's
toys.
watching it.
Yeah.
Like, we know all the fans.
Yeah.
Everyone who went to PMC is the only people
that's
watching
it.
the show right now, basically.
Like,
except for the 4 that didn't
20,000 people or 30,000 people, that's not enough to continue doing the way that they do. No, you gotta have millions of viewers. Hey, look, there are a ton of people shit talking, and I'm one of them, She-Hulk. But Marvel is still flourishing and still making shit. Like, they're at the point where, like, oh, we can make shit and just feed it to you and you'll like it. You like it, we need to get that way with Power Rangers. That's it. That's the name of the game.
And even if you don't like it, they're talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. No one's outside of this community. No one's talking about it. Like, no one even knows that it exists. Like, we're on our own little island, our own little Super Sentai island, and nobody comes to visit us. It's like we're in prison or
Literally,
something.
once I broke the news, a lot of the outside people that was excited for it haven't heard about Power Rangers since the 2017 movie.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that there's actual show going on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
It's always the case. Like, even if you speak to people who don't know the show, when you talk about Power Rangers, they instantly go, "Oh yeah, Mighty Morphing, oh that Green Ranger guy, I remember him," and that's all that they remember. So when I've spoken to people and they go, "Oh, what you into?" I'm like, "Oh, I really like Power Rangers," and they go like, "Oh, I didn't know that was on. Like, how many years is it going on?" You're like, "Oh, almost 30," and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know anything about that," and you're like,
I stopped
okay,
around Dino Thunder. Like,
yeah. And I think, like, because I've been having a lovely conversation with someone on Twitter, multiple tweets on stuff, but it gets to the point where you try and point things out, and they always bring it back to, "Oh yeah, but they could always make it in this university. It needs this," and I just keep saying, well, it doesn't. Hasbro bought Power Rangers. If it's not making money, regardless of what it is, it will get shut down, and they'll go,
Yeah.
"Well, we've put $1 million into an entire season. We're not getting the money back." And even through toy sales, like, I mean, Hasbro at the moment, they're more concentrated on the Lightning collection, but they don't finish off Zords. Like, if you think about, say, if Cosmic Fury was a brand new set of Rangers, have we had every single Zord come out for Dino Fury? I don't even think we have. Hell, we haven't had Ion's weapon. Or Aeon's weapon. We haven't had a lot of the other stuff. And again, like, most of the bad guys, like Mucus or Slifer, they've not even come out in toy form. And I haven't seen any mainline toys for a long time.
Yep.
So that would stop. So if it's all about toy sales, then where are these toys that they do? Because again, it's only Lightning Collection and Zap Ascension Project that we're getting. So if Hasbro don't have confidence in building and buying the toys, then where's this money coming in? Because it's definitely not through toy sales.
Yeah.
So
wait till they find out what they're doing next year with toys.
I want to know now.
I mean, even let's say just the mainstream media, like, when you talk about Marvel or Star Wars, it's anybody outside of it, like, you can still, communicate about it, like, talk about it. Like, I go out and I meet girls, and a lot of them we have conversations about the movies and stuff. And yeah, sure, we'll talk about Marvel, we'll talk about Star Wars and Star Trek and enjoy that stuff. I could never talk to a lady about Power Rangers, like, "Oh, what kind of shows do you?" "Oh, I like Power Rangers." Like, Power Rangers? Like, no, there's still a stigma behind it, like, because it's still aimed towards children. It hasn't ascended to that Marvel, Star Wars, that DC, side yet, where it's, common ground for people to talk about. That's the reason why they have to make a change. So all these I love Super Sentai. I love Q Ranger. Q Ranger was, like, really cool. I loved, like, even Kamen Rider and all that stuff. But it doesn't work in the States. It hasn't worked in the States for a long time. So
it took so much for me to drag my friends to that movie theater to watch that movie.
Yeah.
It took so much. They wanted to watch Logan or King Kong. Like, they didn't. Like, it took so much for me to get them to watch it.
Yeah.
Well,
Imagine.
Sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, two of my friends, they went to see a film when the trailers dropped, and literally they showed Power Rangers, and they were like, "Oh my god, this looks really, really good." But as soon as the name Power Rangers, like, popped up, they were like, right, we're not going to go see it. And it's that sort of stigma. But also, I've just only thought of this because Red Ranger 241 goes, not going to lie, I'm surprised that the reboot isn't going to be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I would have been cool if it was something inspired by Boom Studio Comics. But I think the reason why they're not doing MMPR is because they get stuck in that whole thing. Look how much MMPR that we've had. The fans love MMPR. Well, most fans do. So if you did a whole reboot and went, this is exactly what we've had 30 years ago, it'll get boring. And I think a lot of fans that want to watch it are just going to be like, I can't be bothered with this. Why do I need to watch this again? And if Hasbro play it right and go, brand new suits, brand new everything, boom, 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 I think they'll just turn around and go, well, we finally don't have to make MMPR for this to sell because it sells everything else. And I'm just like, yes, please do so. I'm so tired.
A lot of people don't realize Hasbro don't care about MMPR the way they think they do. They really don't. They're milking it right now is because that's the most popular thing they have for Power Rangers. That's why they're milking it. But in the long run, they really don't care about MMPR.
Yeah.
And they're not going to depend on MMPR to sell the brand. They want their own stuff, their own products, their own version of Power Rangers, and that's what they're going to push. We're going to get to a point where 5-6 years in the future, we're only going to see one kind of team of Power Rangers. We're not going to have like all these varieties where you have like, 30 different seasons and we can like pick between different ones. We're going to go back to 1995 where all we see is one type of team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I think they kind of want to make Power Rangers more of a household name like Ninja Turtles. When you think of the Ninja Turtles, you think of the main 4 turtles. There's not a million other turtles, When you think of Transformers, think of like the main 20 or 15, They're and even with Transformers, they only market like the main people like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, etc., Megatron. Where I think they want to get to the point where they recognize a group of Power Rangers for what they are, and that's it. You're not confusing people with different ones. And I think Mighty Morphin is the safest bet right now for that. If you was to draw, let's say you got Dino Thunder figures, SPD figures, this and that, people are going to get confused. People are going to be like, oh, I don't remember what season this is. Why invest in it if I'm already lost? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people see Mighty Morphin and go, okay, I recognize that. Let me buy that for my kid, Or Halloween costumes. If we seen Mighty Morphin next to Dino Charge and Beast Morphers, there's still Beast Morpher costumes out for some reason. But if you see Beast Morphers next to, Dino Fury and Mighty Morphin, everyone's buying Mighty Morphin. They're going to be like, who are these people? And I think Hasbro took note of that and are going to do that with their own team.
I really like that. I really like that.
I don't know. It's just watching and listening or, looking at people talk about it on Twitter. Like, all this week, people are just, like, angry. Like, just angry. Everybody's just so angry about, oh, why aren't we doing this anymore? Why are you doing this? You're ruining my childhood. You're not a child. Some of you are, like, 40-something years old. Like, don't get wrapped up on this too much. Like, evolve.
When someone says, oh, it's ruined my childhood, I'm like, so did your future self go back and slap you in the face? Has it taken away those memories? Because again, it's like, oh, it's taken my childhood. No, your childhood, you've had your childhood. You have these memories of Power Rangers, whatever. So they're going to be changed. How does, say, I don't know, Zato coming back in a brand new suit, go back and change the fact that it's changed Mighty Morphin? How? I can't figure out. Show me how Zato, he was there, but he was asleep. But again, I don't get it type thing.
What was the funniest reaction you saw to the new suit? Like, most angry, funniest reaction.
I got one.
Oh,
I'll let
I
you
have
go.
one.
Yeah.
I have one.
Anybody
I
go
have the
first.
same one.
It's the guy who was arguing on Twitter posted a picture of someone from Family Guy writing a letter going like, I'm going to send so many angry letters, and then jumped to, and no shade to him, literally jumped to a point where like, I'm cancelling all my pre-orders and I am not buying any more until I get a dime. And I'm like,
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't see those posts anymore because he doesn't like having a conversation.
I have a similar one. Once again, no shade to the guy, but I always think it's funny when people on Twitter, they're like, I'm done with this brand. I'm not giving them another dime. You will suffer. And it's like, will they?
Oh, you gotta suffer.
No.
You're one person.
What would they do without you? The one fan.
The one fan. It's crazy. It's crazy.
If
There's
only we
people-
listened to that one fan.
It's crazy that just they get so wrapped up over this one thing. Hey, look, I'm not saying it's the greatest suit, but it's not terrible. Like, it's just whatever. It's a one-off. It's just calm down. Everybody, calm the fuck down.
And you don't even have to like it. That's the thing. You don't have to like it, but like, why like go out your way to make yourself overheated over this little thing? You know what I'm saying? Like. Like, there's plenty of things that I don't like, and I just move on.
Yeah.
I'm not letting it ruin my day. I'm not letting it ruin my life. Like,
see, I'm not a big fan of the Zoojer suits. The helmets are okay, but like the design of the suits, it's like a screen print T-shirt on them. Like, I'm not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. Like, people just gotta move on and relax, chill out.
And Sentai still exists.
It does.
Anyone that don't like the direction
Yeah, yeah. That's what I said to that guy.
He's right there.
See, he did bring up a really good point, and it did make me kind of rethink like one or two things, because he mentions like, because the way that I've been thinking about it is like Sentai adaptations, Japanese footage in, and he did bring up a point saying like, look, it's about suits, it's about this and that, and I generally kind of thought, well, they can make their own, like helmets and stuff probably aren't that much, because helmet makers make loads. You can have your hero helmet, which is standard, and you can have your stunt helmet. But then the fact is, like, Hasbro bought Power Rangers. They didn't buy Super Sentai. So if they have more control over what they make, that's absolutely fine.
Super Sentai just came with the deal.
Yeah. And for them to say, like, oh, it's going to ruin it, or it's not going to happen, it's like, it's not. Because at the end of the day, they could go back to Toy and go, look, we messed up. We didn't think this is going to work. It's failed. Let's go back to doing it this way. And Toy's going to go, cool, give me some money, and then we'll talk. And they'll go, there you go, there's the money. So... But it's when people are scared not giving it a go. And that's what really gets me, because it's more like, are you just a fan of Power Rangers, the Sentai elements, or are you a fan of being a fan of Power Rangers? And I think giving it a go is the best thing to do, rather than just be like, So
everyone, sorry to cut you off, everyone shit on that the animation for that new Dragon Ball movie, and like it became one of the most profitable movies in the US for an anime movie.
Oh yeah, because Gohan goes hard in that one.
No, it was the CG. The CG, people were thrown off by the CG animation.
They're just trying something new. People are just trying something new. You have to evolve. Like, literally, look at like apps like Instagram. Instagram is like the ultimate evolver. Like, Instagram evolved to add some YouTube aspects, TikTok aspects. They're like, you have to evolve in order to grow, and that's the thing that Hasbro's trying to do and E1's trying to do. It's you can't keep going by the main formula. I think a lot of the stress or like the angry fans would go away if Super Sentai made themselves more accessible to the Western side. Like, if there's a streaming service that they can pay into, that they can watch it, I think then it'd be easier for them to accept like the Hasbro Power Rangers. It just needs to happen. So this is all on Toy. Toy needs to stop monopolizing their content, since there's a ton of people that want to watch. You could be making a ton more money off this kids show that you guys show only in Japan if you guys would just make it accessible. It's the freaking 21st century. So many streaming services, so many freaking paywalls you can get through. Just make it happen.
I mean, it's all on Shout for free. I think Shout just needs to promote it better.
I didn't know it's on Shout.
Yeah, it's on Shout. You need to be an American to watch it, but VPN to your friends.
Yeah, true. Well, here's another thing, because Jin mentioned something in your thing about the movie, and then a lot of people are talking about Megazord footage. Like, they're saying like, oh, it would cost too much to make your own Megazords. But then I just generally thought, why don't they just do CGI like Don Brothers? Like, if you watch Senkaija, when they introduced the big, massive, horrible CGI Megazord, but then you have enough time to do like another one, like say the Don Brothers one has really changed and it looks really spot on. You cut down that entire whole element of Zord footage if it's too expensive to shoot. So you have other elements, and I think Hasbro may want to kind of experiment with this because it makes things better. Or as Jim put in your thing where there's hardly any Megazords, I would be okay if there was hardly any Megazord footage for the for Cosmic Fury, or even for going forward. Because as much as I love Megazord fights, it's always the same generic. It's here for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and then it's just like, cool, pose. But if you look at how, say, Dawn Brothers has done it, where the Rangers can become the Megazord in human form, if you had something like that, I think that would be even better.
would
Something
be
that
cool.
spices stuff up rather than cool giant monster grows big and I just want something brand new and original.
Yep. I mean,
And the Megazord will look good. Like the Megazord will look better if you're only showing up 3 times. You can put more money into it. If you have a Megazord fight every episode, it probably won't look as good.
yeah. I like
They
when
only
I was
showed
watching the
Megazord
episodes, I was
from
skipping them.
2017 movie and that looked bad. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was last minute.
Yeah, that was Lionsgate though.
Yeah.
They came off of Twilight and Hunger Games and went to Power Rangers and thought
They didn't even try to make the Zords look like their animals. Like, what the fuck was that Mastodon? Like, it was like a caterpillar. Like, what the fuck, man?
Absolutely hated it, and I hated the entire like explanation that they gave. And it was just like, well, we couldn't figure out how to get warp cycle right, so we added more legs. I'm just like, it's 3D.
Wait, who said that?
So the director came out because everyone asked, because originally the Megazord fight wasn't meant to be in it either. So I don't think he wanted to have the Zords in, but he was like, oh, we couldn't get the walk cycle right for the Mastodon. So that's why it has like extra legs. And I was just like, what? And then they added, because I don't know if you're testing screenings or something, but there wasn't meant to be a Megazord fight whatsoever. So they cut it, they only put it in last minute. I'm just like, why? Like, did you not even watch like 20 odd years of the show? It's a big staple of it. Oh, just irritating. The 2017 film is the best and the worst. And
it was.
It's funny though, like when a lot of directors say they're a fan of the show, they're always referring to Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
They grew up watching Mighty Morphin and never again.
Yeah.
It's like when we interview like the Power Rangers, right? And I was like, oh, what was your favorite they said, oh, I was a huge fan of Power Rangers growing up. I was like, oh, what's your favorite season? MMPR. I was like, okay, never mind, dismiss it. Like, not really. I'm not saying you're a true fan.
A lot of these new Rangers wasn't even like alive.
Yeah.
When MMPR was airing.
Dude, don't even remind me, bro. Jin, were you alive during the initial airing of MMPR?
No. My first like on air season, I think, was Time Force.
No way, that's crazy.
But even then, I was 3 years old. You know
shoot,
like,
that's crazy.
When I was born, In Space was probably on TV.
Oh,
right,
okay.
I was born in '98, so In Space was around that time.
Damn, I feel old right now.
Yeah.
That's
but
funny.
I didn't like know what I was watching really until like I want to say Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder, where I can really like process what was going on.
It's just something we're gonna have to accept once it happens, and I'm all for it. I just want to see something. I know it probably won't be at PulseCon, but who knows? Maybe it'll be at PulseCon. But like we said, PulseCon is gonna happen this Friday, and it's going to be 2:15 Eastern time, so 10:15. Wait, is that?
Is this Thursday?
Is it Thursday?
Or next Thursday?
I thought it was the weekend. I thought it was the 30th.
It's Friday, the 30th.
The 30th, yeah.
Yeah, and then because it's 2 days, so Power Rangers is on the first day.
I was thinking like, wait, let me make sure I got the right day off.
Yeah. So I know. I probably Ash and Erlem, you guys gonna do like a watch along with them?
If
I'll
I
be
can.
sleeping. It's like 2 a.m. probably for me.
Come on, you don't want to do another Snuggie episode?
Nah.
We already know what's coming out. It's an Astro
Yeah,
Megazord.
we do. Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. You
gotta act surprised for the reaction.
Yeah, it's like oh.
Do the thumbnail.
Oh my
but
god, didn't know.
I think we did a good job of not spoiling too much. So I mean, if anybody gets angry about this, there's a lot more stuff out there on Twitter that you can get angry at.
Yeah.
But I think
whatever we spoil, and I'm pretty sure they already got spoiled.
Yeah, we're fine. We're totally
Everyone
fine.
knows about the White Ranger.
We're totally fine. But I think that's a good place to stop. So I'd like to thank my panel of guests, Mark, as always, Erlem, bringing us the Henshin Hangout, Ash with the comics, and Jin Saku, the person that delivered the gut-wrenching news to the Power Ranger universe over the week, during the week. More to come. Nice. So I'm excited. I'm so excited. So thank you guys for watching. Where can we find let's go down the list, Mark. Where can we find you on social media, and what's your next video?
You can find me on everywhere as Erlenbot, Twitter as Mainstream Live, and I think I have some topic videos coming up. The Astro Megaship video that's going to drop probably in the next like hour, and I think that's it mainly.
Ash?
You can find me anywhere at Deoxy360. This week's going to be a big week. We got issue 100 of Mighty Morphin for the comics.
Ooh,
We've got
charge
the
to
Dino
100.
Fury finale review. And then you've got usual Geeks and Don Brothers stuff that I'll be covering on the channel, so stay tuned for that.
Nice. Jin, do you have a YouTube channel, bro?
I do have a YouTube channel. It's Detective Jinsaku, but I have 0 videos uploaded because I keep trying to figure out what I want to post. But I will, I promise. But for now, you can find me at Twitter, posting my breakfast, and sometimes
Hey, I need tomorrow. I need that breakfast, man. I want to see. I want to compare. See if
I'm
Jin.
ordering waffles and I'm posting it.
Ah, yeah. You can find me
Different color syrups.
everywhere at Jezer Zeus. You guys, like Jen said, there's gonna be more news to come. So you guys just sit back and relax. It's gonna be crazy. PulseCon's next week, so it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting, and I think a lot of the angry fans will not be so angry in a few weeks. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Find something to be angry about.
Thank you for
Or
joining
you'll
us.
still be angry.
Carry that hate on through the next week.
Thank you for joining us on your Saturday, and we hope you guys have a good week. Peace.